Yesterday we discussed activity-based costing. Then I sent you the video on CVP. I don't know whether you have managed to watch or not yet. Not yet. Okay, not yet. Okay, so you will watch later. It's just a small area to be able to finish. So for today, we are going to look at something called non-routine decisions. Non-routine decisions. I have sent you the notes, but I would like you to first of all follow the discussion. Then later on, we shall look at the notes. Now, when we talk about non-routine, we are talking of decisions that are not common. Something that is non-routine is something that is not regular. Like now, if you visit my house, that would be non-routine because you have never visited or you don't visit. But when you come to Destiny, that is what? Routine. Keep on coming. A decision is obviously a choice of one option from several options. When you are making decisions, there is something we call relevance. Relevance is the ability to influence a decision or to be influenced. Like for those who have come here physically, the amount of money you have spent on fare was a relevant cost, assuming haukuwa na biashara nyingine hapa town, you have purely come for class. So fare is a relevant cost because kama haungekuwa na hiyo fare, you would not have come to class. But something like lunch costs, how much you consume your lunch, it is irrelevant as far as coming to this class is concerned. Because haukuli sababu umekuja class, unakula sababu utakuwa na njaa by that time, whether you are in class or not in class. So costs which affect the decision, they are called relevant, and those which do not, they are called irrelevant. Now, the question will never tell you the following are relevant costs or the following are irrelevant costs. But there are some words that we use to represent all of them. When we are talking about relevant costs, you will see words such as variable costs, you will see specific costs, you will see marginal costs, you will see future costs, you will see direct costs. All these words are there in your notes, so you don't need to bother so much. So you will see these terms. They will be, when you see them, they reflect what we are calling the relevant costs. Then for the irrelevant costs, you will see words such as fixed costs, general costs, apportioned costs, sunk costs, historical costs, and so on. Costs that are fixed, costs that are general, costs that have been apportioned, costs that are past, they are historical. So those are the ones that we say they are irrelevant. Once again, all those terms are captured in the notes that I've given you. Now, we have three main elements of costs. One is called material. How do you judge the relevance of material? One is if you need to use the material and you do not have it. For example, right now, tukikaa hapa, naona hakuna mtu akona mkate, a loaf of bread. So if right now you feel that you need to eat a loaf of bread, what should come to your mind is the purchase cost, because you do not have the bread sahi. Itabidi sasa utumane pale nje uletewe mkate, the purchase cost, if you don't have something. But kama uko na mkate hapo kwa bar, you already have it, and you decide that I want to consume the bread, then the original purchase price is irrelevant, because either ukule usikule sahi, hiyo pesa ulitumia kununua hiyo mkate, it will not come back to you. If you already have something, the original purchase cost is irrelevant. Kama hiyo mkate umeweka hapo, ndio upelekee watoto nyumbani ama upelekee mgeni anakuja nyumbani, na saa hii umeamua kuikula, na huyo mgeni atakuja saa 10, and you still need to give that mgeni ama kupelekea wenye wako nyumbani hiyo mkate, it means itabidi ununue ingine because utakula hiyo saa hii. So by the time you go to the house, you buy another one. So that one is called replacement cost. If that bread you are holding it ndio uuzie mtu saa 7, maybe kuna mtu unangoja umuuzie hiyo mkate. Ukikula saa hii, what should concern you is the revenue lost. The revenue lost, not how much you bought it. If you are holding that bread, or let me change that example, I use what we call the garbages in our houses. We keep those garbages, na kuna hawa majamaa wanaitwa garbage collectors, they come to collect them. And we pay them like around 200 shillings. So kama ushakubaliana na huyo garbage collector akuja achukue, and for some reasons your neighbor akwambie badala ya kupeana hizo garbages, niko na nguruwe hapa, let me use those garbages, ama hizi garbages I can do something with them. Now what should come to your mind quickly is that this 200 is a saving. It's what in economics we call consumer surplus. It's like, sijui kama bawai ulipiwa matatu na mtu. Have you ever? Ama kwa hoteli ukalipiwa bill without in any way telling huyo mtu akulipiwe, and without showing any sign that huwezi jilipia. Because kama ulikuwa umesema huwezi jilipia, that's a different case. But wewe umeboard matatu ama umeingia kwa hiyo hoteli, you are ready to pay, but someone for whatever reason they decide to pay for you. How does it feel? Good. It's good. That's what we call consumer surplus. It's a saving. Alright, that is about material. Let's come to labor. Now labor, it has 3 points. One, if you already have idle capacity, labor is irrelevant. Unaona kama hii class, tuseme saa hii room, because it's a small one, tuseme it can take 10 students. And right now you are 3. So that means I have an idle capacity of what? 7. So if right now you are to get 7 students wamesimama hapa nje wanataka kuingia hii class, when we are thinking of whether to admit them or not, my salary should not be considered. Because the way I am talking right now, when physically you are 3, is the way I would talk if physically you are 10. Na mshahara yangu, it is the same. So when there is idle capacity, the labor cost is 0. So that's why we say when you are idle, even the devil can afford you. An idle mind is the devil's, yeah, because you become so cheap. If the class is full, it is all that mekaliwa, we are full. So the capacity is 10, the actual is 10, so we don't have what? Idle capacity. Alafu tusikie pale nje kuna wanafunzi 7 wanataka kuingia. So there are 2 possibilities. Because hawezi toshea kwa hii room tupeleke kwa room kubwa. Itachukua now 17 students. So assume hakuna hiyo room. What will happen if we decide to admit them? Tutawachukua hawa wakuwe class A na hawa wakuwe class what? B. Then mimi nikifunza hapa niende watafute mwalimu mwingine afunze MA the next class. So if that is possible, the labor cost that you consider is the cost of the new teacher. Huyo mwalimu mgeni mwenye utaajiri tuwafunze hawa, that is the salary you need to consider. So the school fees that is going to be gotten from these guys should be enough to pay the salary of the teacher. Now assume again, class yetu imejaa, hakuna idle capacity na hawa wanafunzi 7 wanataka kuingia. Na hatuna room kubwa ya kuchukua 17 students. Na tukienda huko nje kutafuta mwalimu mgeni hatupati. So what happens? Kimani from 11 to 12 funza class A. Kibia from 12 to 1 funza class B. That's what will happen. So what will happen is if in this class previously I was solving 4 past paper questions. Now I will solve what? 2 and 2. If I was using a particular speed, now it will be double speed, because the syllabus is the same and must be completed. Haya, assume sasa ni nini? Nianze kuwafunza 1 hour. How will you feel? Alice, naona ushaanza kureact. How will you feel?
won't be okay.
It will not be okay with you. Sindio? You will feel short changed because ile pesa ulilipa ya kufuzangwa 2 hours na kufanyiwa maswali mengine. Although hatukukubaliana hivyo, lakini it was implied, and that is what has been happening. Sawa. Sasa hawa wenye wamekuwa hapa ndio wata complain, but then you guys will not complain. Kama tu venye ulikuja hapa ukaambiwa MA tunasoma 4 hours in a week. Have you ever thought about it? Haujawahi complain ukasema kwa nini hatusomi 10 hours? Wewe ulikuja ukapata ukaona wameweka 4 hours ukasema wameweka hivyo kama wameona hivyo then it's okay, twende. Now you have been comfortable. So hata hawa wakianza kukuambiwa MA ni 1 hour na mwalimu anafanyanga tu kaswali kamoja na anaenda na super speed, they will be comfortable. They will think that is how things are done. But sasa hawa wenye wamezoea otherwise, they will start complaining. And they are complaining because the service has been reduced without a corresponding refund. Unajua kama sasa Juma angewaita waambie tumepunguza hii masaa lakini upitie kwa ofisi yangu uchukue your school fees of 10,000. Ulikuwa umelipa 21. So tunakurudishia 10 ama 10,500. Would that be okay? At least somehow it can be good because you umelifandiwa your money. Yes. But sasa wanapunguza hapa hujalifandiwa your money. So what will happen? You start complaining. That's okay. Yes. And when you complain, you'll be saying, can the status quo be reinstated? Mwalimu wetu arudi tusome ile tumezoea. So the principal will tell you, hii maneno tunaangalia is just 1 or 2 days. They give us time. Hiyo time inachukua 2 weeks, nothing has been done. Tena mnachoka mnarudi huko. Naambiwa we are actually at an advanced stage in solving this. Give us time. So mnatulia, mnaangalia, unasikia watu wanaanza kusema from the look of things nothing here will be done. So kila mtu afanye nini? Ajipange. Sasa ukijipanga, it means you are going away. Now, a good business person does not see the customers as human beings, but he sees customers as money. Kama sasa hivi nikiwaangalia sistahili kuona wanadamu. I'm not supposed to see you as Leah or Kenya or Alice. I'm supposed to see 21,000 hapa. 1,000. 21,000. Na hapa ndani hawa wako hapa kina nani wako hapa Rebisi ni kina nani? Hapa niko na kina Jesita, hiyo ni 21,000. Hapa ni Jemima 21, Redin 21, Quinta another 21, Sirao 21. Sasa hapa kumejaa na 21. Hiyo ndio ninaona. Those are the eyes of a smart business person. Is that good? Why it is so is the way God created us is very good. When you see another human being, your body generates emotions automatically. It is what in your language nowadays, or the young people say, feelings, ninakufeel. Naona kama sasa hivi venye unaniangalia, your body is generating emotions towards me. I'm also generating emotions towards you. Hiyo ndio ukweli wa mambo, as long as you are normal biologically. It's only that we are cool. We say we are cool. We don't keep on telling each other. But ukweli ni kwamba when you see another human being, there is that reaction. And this reaction is either positive or negative. It is what makes you to like a person or to dislike what? Kama saa hii ukiniangalia, you are either liking me or disliking me. The same is applying to me. Nikikuangalia, I'm either liking you or lakini hatusemangi, tunatulia tu. Now, when this one is entertained for long, it matures to be called what? Now, when it is entertained for long, it matures to be called. That's why you hear we love some people, we hate others. Now, people who you love, you are likely to undercharge them. Assume, and I'm saying assume. Today, at least physically, I have 3 ladies. Assume that one of these 3 is my girlfriend, or several, 2 of them, or the 3 of them, they are my girlfriends. Assume. And I'm saying assume. Because none is. And I'm the one in charge of school fees. Na siku ya kulipa school fees imefika na my girlfriend hajalipa. Do you think atafukuzwa? Atafukuzwa? No, mimi, I'm the one in charge of the school fees and you are my girlfriend. Can I deny you access to the school? No. So that is what we are saying under charge. Is that good for the school? No. So if we are doing business with people that you love, your business will not go far because you will undercharge them. And the business requires that money to be sustained. On the other side, assume hapa kuna mtu tumechukiana kabisa, maybe tumetukanana kwa mitandao ama huko nje tulipatana tumetukanana, alafu nimuone akikuja kwa class yangu and I'm in charge. Do you think nitamkubalia? Nitasema nitapeana tu instructions fulani akionekana fukuza. So akifukuzwa hiyo ni 21,000 imeenda. Is that good for the school?
No.
No. So that's why you do not look at your customers as human beings. You look at them as money. Why money? Because when it comes to money, no one has been recorded that they looked at money and they hated it. All of us, we look at money and we do what? Manani hapendi pesa. Alice,
Yes.
napenda pesa. See, it is good. Anyway, is money good? Don't qualify. Is it good? Would you want to have more than what you have currently? Yeah. Would you want to have more? Yes. Mimi ningependa kuwa na mingi zaidi ya ile niko nayo mara mingi sana. Because money is what? It's good. So when you look at money, sasa nikianza kuona hii 21,000, hapa kwa mitandao 21. My emotion for love will be very strong, and you know how we treat people that we love. Tunaweka vizuri, tunataka kuwa karibu na wao, all those things. I know you people understand what I'm saying. So if now you approach your customers from that perspective, then your business will grow because they will feel that they are loved, they are well served, and so on. So that is what happens. But in case now the customers disappear, what you are supposed to do is you count the money you have lost plus the opportunity cost. Okay. Then for the overheads, that one is very simple. Point number one is that variable overheads are relevant. And point number two is that fixed overheads are irrelevant. So those points that I've discussed there, you will find them in the notes. Now, we have 4 types of decisions. Let me start with the special pricing. Hiyo ndio tutaanza nayo kwa notes, hata kwa kitabu naweza andika nao. Special pricing decision. Andika tu hivyo kwa your note. Special pricing. Decisions. Special pricing decisions. Special pricing decisions. So again, I want to discuss that. Then we look for a question and handle. When we talk about the special pricing, it works like this. Take a case of huyo kiosk owner hapo kwenu. That person, they have their regular what? Customers. And these regular customers, they pay a particular price. But today in the morning, today being a Saturday, maybe there was a dowry ceremony, a wedding, or whatever function that is there in the estate. So there are these fellows who have come from the village. Naona hiyo basi imeandikwa Nyarugogo Secondary School. Ama Muzuru Secondary School. Naona this is from the village. So one of the guys from that bus anakuja kwa duka yako. Anakuambia mimi nataka mkate. Sasa mkate ni is it 65? 65. Lakini akona 50 off. Will you sell to him? Very fast saying no, eh? Now,
Ask him to come with a friend. Okay.
what?
Get another friend.
Hapana, yeye anataka full loaf peke yake. Ako na 50. Those are the terms. Hataki wakule na mtu mwingine hata shiba. Nataka peke yake. So what you need to do, you see now, this price is what we call the special price because it is lower than the normal price of what? 65. So before you tell him no, you need to check what is the marginal cost of that bread. As in wewe uliinunua pesa ngapi. If you bought this bread at anything less than 50 or equal to 50, you should sell. But if you bought it for anything greater than what? 50, tuseme ulinunua at 55, you should not sell. That means the minimum price you should accept for your product should be equal to the marginal cost. Kama hii mkate ulinunua 48 na amequote 50, uza. Kama ulinunua 50 na amequote 50, sell. Wachana na kuangamia ile ya 65. However, if there is another option, or maybe before I talk of that, you see even in a school like this one, the only cost you people in the car that is valuable or relevant is the cost of the past papers. These past papers, they don't cost us more than, I don't think they would go beyond 1,000. Even give them 2,000. So a student who say they want to be admitted here at Destiny for a whole semester and they can only afford 2,000, that student should be allowed in class. Is it making sense? Why it should be so is, like now, hizi viti zenye zimekaa hivyo zinasaidia nani? Lakini kama hapa tukiweka mtu wa 2,000, hapo 2,000, hapo 2,000, hapo 2,000. Sio inafika karibu 20, 30,000. Hiyo 20 unalipa stima. Hiyo 20 unafanyia kitu. Is money that was not there. However, the reason as to why your case now cannot be accepted is because we have an alternative. The school would think, kama wewe mwanafunzi hawezi afford kulipa 21,000, sisi hatutachukua 2,000 yake. Wacha akae nje, maybe kuna mwingine atakuja ata afford kulipa. And this tells you, anytime you have an option, you become expensive. And anytime you have no option, you become so cheap. That's why I keep on telling students, and anyone who they has to listen to me, is that in life, create options. If you want to get the best, create what? Options. Plan B. It is only in 2 areas that you should not have options. Number 1 is on matters you have God. Thou shalt not have any other. And number 2, for those of us who are married, matters your spouse. You are married to one and one. Lakini mambo ingine yote, look for what? A plan B. Hata hii masomo ya CPA unasoma. Ukimaliza CPA, don't just relax na CPA. Tafuta ka kitu kingine. CPA inaweza enda igonge mwamba. Upate marketing ndio, upate driving ndio. Yes, look for something else. Even those of you who are working, don't just spend all your time and energy there. In as much as maybe you remain there until you retire, create another source of what? Income. Kaside hustle, katakusaidianga. Ndio hata ile siku amechelewesha mshahara, you are still not complaining so much. Those of us who work in accounts, anyone here works in accounts? Ukichelewesha mshahara kidogo, the noise, mpaka mtu anakuja kupigia makelele kama ni wewe unamlipa. Pesa ni ya kampuni lakini mtu anaifanya personal. Wengine hata haijachelewa, maybe tuseme wanaipangwa 29, around 25 unaona mtu akipitia, how are you? Si salamu, alikuwa anakuja kuangalia payroll imefikishwa wapi. Mambo namna gani? Unajua sasa tuko karibu tunajipanga panga. Yes. So hizo mambo you can avoid them by creating what? Options. Look for options as much as it is what? Possible. But I'm not in any way saying that you become a jack of all trades and a master of none. What I'm saying is look for something else that in case this one is not working, let's go for this one. Some factors that you need to consider when we are saying you sell to this one. One is the effect on the customer's morale. Assume saa hii, wewe umeng'ang'ana umelipa 21,000. Alafu ujue huyu mtu umekaa naye amelipa 2,000. How will you feel? Si utasikia vibaya. So the customers will feel discouraged, they will feel bitter, and actually this thing becomes so bad if the persons affected or the persons involved are of opposite gender. Imani yako in charge of finance, na mwenye amelipa 2,000 ni msichana, karibu. Now you know the direction I'm headed to. Na mwenye amegundua amelipa 21 is also another lady. So the question is, Kimani amependa huyu ndio amemcharge what? Mbona mimi hakunipenda? That feeling of rejection. Sijui kama unajipata mahali ukasense ni kama you are being rejected. It is very bitter. And it's something you will fight to the last bullet. So sasa unaanza kudevelop mauchungu ya ndani against huyu mwenye amelipishwa what? 2,000. Then for some reasons akiamuka tu hapo hapendi kuangusha calculator yako. Badala ya kumwambia kuchukulia calculator unamwambia sasa sababu umelipa 2,000 unatuangushia calculator hapa. Ndio kama unasikia direction ya maneno kama haya. Na mwenye ameambiwa 2,000 hivyo ujue by the time mtu anakuja kulipa 1,000 huyu mtu hana pesa. Si ndio? Now when someone does not have money they are bitter. Sasa mimi nimekasirika because I'm already broke, alafu naanza kuniingilia hapa ati nimelipa 2,000. So mimi nakasirika. Nikikasirika kumbe na wewe ulikuwa unanitega hivi, unaningoja. Zote tuko juu. By the time we come down, the scene is messy. So you do not give discounts to customers who can know each other. Unaona shule kama hii, we cannot give discounts to any one of you. A special discount. Mtajuana na itaanza kuleta maneno. You give discounts to customers who cannot know each other. For example, in matatus. Ukiingia kwa mat, wewe ulipishwe 50. Na uone mtu umepata hapo akilipa 20. Does it bother you? You don't know aliingilia wapi, anashukia wapi, waliongea nini. Na hata hamtaongea, utaingia tu ukae, hautamuuliza wewe umeingilia wapi, unashuka wapi, wamekucharge ngapi, na mimi. No, you don't talk. But in a class like this one, hamwezi kaa hapa 3 months. And it happens that hamtaongea. Sorry, the next factor that you need to check is the behavior of fixed cost. Sorry. And the next factor that we need to check is the fixed cost. So how is it going to affect our fixed costs? Ukianza kucharge watu 2,000, how will it affect our fixed cost? We need to check on that. The other thing is the future possibilities. Sasa huyu mwanafunzi mmoja tukimcharge 2,000, what if aende huko nje aite marafiki zake kama 20 awaambie kujeni destiny ya 2,000. Wote wako wamejaa hapa. Will you accept them? So those are the factors that you need to check when you're deciding on special pricing. Let's now look for a question that we can solve. This topic is not very strong in your syllabus, but unless they make it strong. It used to be more in advanced management accounting. So you may not get a lot of questions. Sorry. Yeah, good. May 2014. Let's go to May 2014. May 2014, question number is May 2014, question number 1B. 1B. So in that one, tunaambiwa Wanga Limited manufactures a wide range of products. The company has approached you for advice on an order for product branded Renzo. This is a one-off order. One-off ndio tumesema special pricing, eh? Ni mtu anakuja kwako for the first time and it is very clear they will never come again. The cost associated with the order as follows. Materials, material A, 600 kilograms at shillings 10 per kilogram. Nataka tuende tukifuatilia tuna additional information. So andika material A. Material A. We are told to justify. Acha tuipange hivi, acha nikuonyeshe venye tutapanga. Let's panga it in a columnar way. So hapa tutaweka details. Then nianze na the amount. Alafu sasa tutapeana my explanation. So your explanation, niachia space yake huko. So for material A, if you look at the question there, we are told 600 kilograms at 10 per kilo. Lakini kwa additional information tunaambiwa material A The cost of shillings 10 per kilo is the original purchase cost incurred several years ago. Is the cost that was incurred several years ago. So these 10, tunaweza anza tu hapa kwa explanation. These 10 is irrelevant. Just make some notes there. It is irrelevant. Why is it irrelevant? Because it is already in the store. This material is no longer in use by the business and if not used for this order, it would be sold as scrap for 3 bob. So another point is that 3 is relevant. 3 is relevant because that is what we shall lose, the lost revenue. So we are going to get the value as 3 times 600. That's also part of workings. So ukikuja hapa kucharge material A, ukikuja kucharge material A, you will say it is 1,800. So hautaweka hiyo 6,000 because the 10 bob is what? Irrelevant. The relevant one is the 3 bob. Tuende kwa material B. Material B. Material B is mentioned in information 2. We are told that this is in continuous use by the business. The historical cost of 7 per liter, although current supplies are being purchased at what? 6 points. So now that it is continuous, we require what? Replacement at 6.5. It will require replacement at 6.5 because that's the current price. So we can even say 6.5 times 2,000. How much is that? 13,000. Now the 7 bob is irrelevant. Why is it irrelevant? It's a sunk cost. Ni kama hii ilinunuliwa kitambo. Ilinunuliwa kitambo. So for material B, we are going to charge 13,000. We are going to charge 13,000. Let us go to material C. Material C, the question inasema, Wanga Limited has 600 kilos of this material in stock. A new supplies would cost 4 per kilo. So the replacement, or before to tuandike replacement, wacha tuone kama inahitajika. If the current stock of this material is not used for this order, it will be used as a substitute for material Z, which costs 7 per kilo in another production process. 2 kilos of material C are substituted with 1 kilo of material Z. So here, replacement for Z. So nataka tufuate hiyo Kiingereza vizuri ndio tucompute. Tunaambiwa if you do not use this material C, hautanunua Z. But ukitumia, it will require that you buy what? Z. So you are going to deal with the cost of Z. Alafu tunaambiwa hapa that for every 2 kilos of C, they represent 1 kilo of Z. So how many Z's do we now have? That will be 600 you divide by what? Hii material C itatuokolea 300 kilos of Z. So itabidi tununue those 300 kilos of Z. So 300 each is going for what? Material Z 7. So that will be 2100. Sawa. Haya, so kuja hapa uweke 2100 kwa C. Let's go to labor. Labor in department X. Labor in department X. Unaambiwa this department has spare labor capacity for the order, which would be retained. So sasa hapa kwa note, it is we have spare capacity and therefore irrelevant. So hapa unaweka 0. You're not going to charge your labor wameweka hapo ya 24,000. Because they have spare. Kama wewe ukitumwa at your workplace, waambiwe kutoka kwa hii desk hata kwa hii nyingine. Do you ask for an extra salary? Haya, why? This department is currently working at full capacity. So it is busy. That needs to be paid. When you are busy, you should be paid. The existing staff could either work overtime to complete the order paid at 150% of normal rate, or work limited could divert labor hours from the production of other units that currently average a contribution of 3 per hour. So hapa kuna 2 options. If we go by overtime, overtime itakuwa namna hii. Watalipwa 150%. And the 150% of 10 bob times the number of hours, 4,000. $64,000.
Oh, yeah. Is that what was on the
Times. This is 15 times 4, 60,000. In 60,000. Yeah. Then, if you divert, it is going to cost you 3 shillings per unit or per hour. So it is 3 times 4,000. Plus these guys, utakuwa tu umewalipa hii 10 shillings times the 4,000. Utakuwa tu umewalipa. It is 52,000. But because these guys are being paid, already wafanyikazi wetu, what we should consider is the incremental. First of all, out of these, we go for the smaller. Kwa tax mnasemanga the lower off. So we go for the lower. So to divert is the lower. But bado kuna kitu ingine. Unaona hii 10 na hii. These guys are already ours, so tunawalipa. So we only need to charge the incremental. That is 52,000 minus 40,000. So you charge only 12,000. So hapa kwa lipa Y tutacharge 12,000.
We are still going to use the staffing departments.
Yes.
Department, is it Y or X?
Why? They will use them. Lakini what will happen, wataambiwa waachane na kitu kingine. Ni kama sasa mimi niitwe na kulipo sahihi, yaambiwa waachana na sec 4, enda sec 2. Nikifunza huko sec 2 mpaka saa 7, si mshahara yangu ni ile tu ningelipwa hapa. But now what we need to consider is the incremental. Now that nimetolewa kwa class yenu, hiyo makelele mtapiga. Ama kama ni pesa mlikuwa mnaleta, hiyo itapotea. Hiyo ndio tunaita what? Incremental. Because either I'm teaching sec 4 or I'm teaching sec 2, mshahara yangu iko hii 10 times 4,000. It should not be considered in making the decision whether I should be told to go to sec 2 or not. Tumeelewa?
Yes.
Haya. The next one is overheads absorbed on predetermined. So tukuja kwa overheads. Overheads, they are absorbed on predetermined rate. And we are told there will be no incremental cost incurred as a result of this. So this one is 0. We are told no incremental. We are told there will be no incremental. So if there will be no incremental, that's all. So total costs, which is the minimum price. How much?
28,900. 28,900.
28,900. Okay, so that is the cost that you should charge there. So I think we have answered the question. Advise the management of Wanga on the minimum price that they should accept for the product. Hence, justify your treatment of each cost. So I think we have justified it. We have given the reasons why we have done what we have done. Let me see whether I could get another one. Okay, I'm not finding any other question on that. It's like they don't examine these things. Can't find. Okay, sawa. Let's discuss the next division. These decisions are not very common in your case. I think actually even what I'll do, I'll just discuss, then in case I come across questions, we can handle them as we come across. The next one inaitwa make or buy. Make or buy. Again, the notes nimekuwekea hapo. Make or buy decisions. So maybe hautaandika kwa kitabu, nikipata swali nitakwambia ni ya wapi. But from what I've done, nimepitia hizo maswali zote ni kama hakuna. Kuna moja ambayo tu nimeona. So make or buy is a decision you make in deciding whether you shall make the item by yourself or you shall have someone do it for you. For example, lunch or food. You can decide, mimi nikimaliza hii class napitia kwa hoteli nikule. Ama I'm going straight to my house to cook. And there's a decision we make. At least the class has ladies physically. So for the ladies are not very popular with this one. You are popular in this one. Ukizoea hii sana inaweza punguza marks elsewhere. Tea. Hotel. What about food? Tea is just like a small drink. It's not a big one, eh? Yeah, it's not a big one. But in the house you make tea?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yes. And they should be strong in this one. But for men, especially those who are not married, they are very strong here. Yeah. Or maybe tuseme kama leo ni weekend, kuosha nyumba, manguo na nini. You may decide now that nimechoka na niko na mambo mingi, let me go and get one of those parcels. Unaona mahali wanakanga, akuje akuoshe manguo na nyumba. That is a case of buy. Ama useme mimi nikitoka class tu hivyo, nikifika general cleaning, you do it by yourself. Even hii masomo tunasoma hapa, ungeamua haukuji class, uchukue vitabu, uende library, ujisomee. Sorry, this is but now that you came to my class, mimi nimekusomea nikakuja kukuambia, that's why unanisikiza. It is a case of buy. Which one is expensive? Buy. Buying in every aspect is what? It's expensive. If you are looking at money, you will always go for this. This one is more expensive. But the other factors that come into play that make us still to go for this. For example, the issue of expertise. Ukiamua ni kujisomea, it may take you a lot of what? Time. Ujui ni nini inahitajika. Before ugundue hii inafanywa hivi na sijui kama mmewahi sumbuliwa na kakitu tu kadogo. Kana kusubua. Alafu mtu anakuja anakuambia ni hapa tu ni hapa. That's called the power of what? The expertise. And that's why we pay experts. So that they give us the quality product and within no time. Something else that you need to consider when you are deciding whether to make or buy is the effect on the staff morale. If at least again it's good. Those of us who are married, those who are not, you'll soon get us there. If your husband was to be coming home every evening, amenunua chakula kwa hoteli na amebeba mpaka na zile sahani zinaitangwa disposables, would you encourage him to be doing that? Why? Good. Thank you for hitting it direct. It's not even an issue of money. I think I misuse pesa. No. Pesa iko. Oh, that's another question. Alikuwa anakula na nani? Ama amekula kwa nani? You see, I normally see, because I'm married, even when I eat in my mother's home or house, na maybe hata tulikuwa na bibi yangu na tukakula na yeye amekula. So when I go to the house, bado anaisi kule yenye amepika. So kama yenye nimekula kwa mama yangu bado ninahitajika nikule kwake. Hii ingine nimesema nimenunua kwa hoteli, hiyo ni hoteli gani? The hotel is good, it can bring a lot of what? Issues. And the key thing is, when the husband is coming home with these things, they are underrating you. And you know, none of us want to be told that we are not good. All of us, we have what we call best syndrome. Best syndrome is that feeling that makes you feel that you are the best. You are the best. If you are a teacher like me, you feel that you are the best MA teacher. Any other you come across is a quack. If you are a man like me, you feel that you are the most handsome. Every other lady will be after you. If you are a lady, you feel you are the most beautiful. Any other man will be after you. And is it bad to feel that? Is it bad to have that best syndrome? What do you think? Ni vibaya kujisikia uko sawa? Si unajisikia? Actually, venye unajisikiaga ndio finally tunakuchukulia. Hakuna depression, hakuna stress. You can imagine nikuja kwa hii class, nikamwambia leo tunasoma make or buy. Lakini ni kama sikumbuki hiyo make or buy. But wacha tujaribu. Ninakupea sentence ya kwanza nakwambia, cancel, hiyo si ya make or buy, hiyo hata kwanza ni ya budget. Alright, this one. Tena unaandika, ukiandika the third sentence nakwambia, sorry. Hiyo ni ya marginal cost, cancel. Will you write it the next time? Because already I have portrayed myself, I do not know what I'm saying. But when I come here, na ninakwambia, we are looking at make or buy, na ninaanza kuongea, you are so keen listening to me, hata hujui kama naongea ukweli kama si ukweli. I don't even think that you people, you go to cross check what I teach you of and whether it's the right thing. The reason is, nimekuja nikaonyesha niko na hiyo confidence, you believe it. So how you feel about yourself is how others feel, take you. So the best syndrome is very, very important. So when you start buying from outside, it is dangerous. The other thing is the alternative use of the resources that will become what? Idle. If you take food in a hotel, maybe to say it will take you 15 minutes because ni kuingia kuoda kukula kutoka. But kama ni kupika kwako, right from pale sokoni, kununua hizo vitu, all the way uende uprepare, upike, ukule, uoshe vyombo, na utoe takataka. The entire process, assume it takes 60 minutes. So when you take the food in the hotel, it is saving you what, 45 minutes. So hii 45 minutes, utakuwa unafanyia nini? So if to buy food from the hotel is costing you 100, and making it in the house is costing you 30 shillings. That means you have incurred 70 shillings more. So these 45 minutes should help you to save or to generate more than 70 shillings. Unaona? Kama kwa hii 45 minutes hautatengeneza more than 70 shillings, kuachana nayo. Kulia, pika. But ukijua nikikimbia kwa hoteli nikula kule haraka, alafu nianze kufanya na kitu hapa 45 minutes I'll make more than 70. Kimbia kwa hoteli kula, fanya hii kitu, you get more than 70. Just like even when you are going home. Some of us use the small Nissans. Kanisani kana charge 100. But ile bus kubwa ina charge 50. So we assume that hao kanisani kadogo katafika mapema. Assume that is true. Ufike kwa hao 20 minutes earlier. Hii 20 minutes, will you do something that will give you more than 50 shillings? Not necessarily in terms of money, but even in terms of quality. Like maybe umefika kwa nyumba, umekaa na wao for some time, those 20 minutes. Those are things that you need to check. Make all high. The last decision that I want to discuss, so that in case nipate swali sasa tujibu, hii syllabus yenu haitakuwa hiyo maswali, but there is one. Okay, now we are discussing the third one. The third one is called drop or retain. Continue or discontinue. And I want to ask, have you ever thought of dropping something with someone? Or have you ever been dropped? Huwezi kuwa umeepuka zote. Umewahi fikiria ku-drop mtu ama wali-ku-drop? Which one happened? Those were online. Oh, drop and dropped. Oh, okay. Mtu ananiambia yeye alidrop na hata yeye alidropiwa. Okay, good. Those are realities of life. Ujawahi experience umedrop mtu ama umedropiwa? Not unless you don't engage in any kind of relationships. Eh? You dropped or you were dropped? You were dropped. Alice. You have retained. Ujawahi drop? It's only that you are confining it to just one type of relationships. But you have many types of, including the one you have with me. See, there is a relationship. Yeah.
And you?
Eh?
And you?
Me, I have dropped. I was also dropped. Yeah. Until I got married. Now the one I am married to has not dropped me, and I have not dropped her. We have retained. There. Have you experienced any? Both. Yes, those are realities of life. You drop, you retain. Hata hii masomo ya Kasnet. Umewahi fika mahali ukajiambia lazima nisome CPA.
Sure.
Na ukaanza kutafuta examples ya watu hawajafanya CPA and they are doing so well. Yes.
So you can give the exam.
Those are realities of life. They happen. Drop or retain. Now the question is, wakati ulifikiria kudrop, or hata kama huku drop. Let's now narrow down to something like CPA. Because kuna time ulifikiria kuachana nayo, lakini hukuacha, that's why you are listening to me. What had happened? What was the reason?
Nothing was funny, No, we just look at the job market and yeah, and the efforts that you were putting, the efforts, the money, and the energy that you were putting in it. And that's why you can get the thought of dropping because of the uncertainty of it.
The uncertainty, one, you are not very sure whether you will ever get a job. Number two, if you get a job, huoni kama italipa pesa inafaa. The sacrifice, the cost that you have in card.
Like you rethink because I have a friend who is working now in this bank. And they are ever traveling. Forever traveling and training. They didn't really do well.
Like
me. Yes, I can. Yeah.
Can think that.
Yeah, but they travel doing conferences and all that. So currently all that
okay. What else? That's good. So what she's bringing out, before I summarize it, umewahi fikiria kuachana na CPA? What made you think of that?
For me, I got a job.
That is one.
Rotary job.
Put up in all of this, the whole day, you're not talking to people, you're only talking to you, say all that. Then the second one is employers are also keen on giving accountants paid well. So you will find IT is best paid than even accountants. Generally, the one who does most of the things for the company.
Okay, the Rotary job, the pay is not very good. Alice, umewafikiria kuachana na hii maneno? What did you think? Those online, you can also be giving me reasons. What made you think?
Maybe you are in a job and the treatment being given to those who have learned up to higher level. You are being underrated down here. So you feel like at least you are forgiving yourself.
You need to upgrade yourself. So for you, you thought of retaining. Now, what is coming out here is simply what we call the departure between the expected and the reality. You expect to get more pay. You expect to get good jobs. You expect not to be lonely. You expect to be paid more. But on travel. But on the ground, there is little pay. There are no jobs. People are tarmacking. Then he gives what?
Not lonely.
You are not this one, you are not lonely. You are
lonely.
You are lonely here on the ground. You expected to travel. You are not traveling at all. But there is one that you are not mentioning. Not traveling. I can see Vera is also talking of the same. For me, currently, I'm thinking of dropping Sirao. Yeah, fortunately, that is what we are discussing. I hope at the end of this one, you will make the right decision. There is one that you have not mentioned. When the results come out and you have not passed. When the results metoka na umepata hujapita, that's the time unasema hii kasi nimekuacha hata niachane nayo. Three.
Yeah. So before we then did the exams, they got an interview. A very good job. So I got the interview, so I postponed the results. So that one after it's very such an issue because he got it because of discipline. Yeah.
Okay. So, but now he's not continuing, eh?
No, he's continuing now.
Okay.
He's come back, like he's very motivated. Okay,
we are going to give another reason. This is the first one I'm discussing. The first reason that I never thought of CPA, but I dropped CFA. CPA is more required. So the issues of demand, good. So what I was saying here is that results metoka. Umepata hauja perform as per the expectation. The expectation is below the reality. Those are the times we feel that we want to drop. Even these relationships that we are in, even with the people that we love, maybe husbands, wives, or girlfriends, boyfriends. Inafika mahali you feel that what you are getting is not what you are expecting. And that's the time unaanza kufikiria whether there is a plan B or there is no plan B. For those of us who are already married, some of us, we have no plan B. Actually, inaitangwa pingu ya maisha. So unakaa hapo. If you chose well, you enjoy. If you chose wrongly, you enjoy. Paka Yesu arudi. Now, the next one that makes people to think is when there is a better option that has come. Like now what you're saying, someone got an interview and they got the job. It was a better what? Option. What Jacinta here is saying, alikuwa kwa sifa, akaona CPA ndio mzuri. So she found what? A better option. Even jobs. Some of us have changed jobs. Yeah, siya tulikuwa na shida kwenye ulikuwa, but ukapata a greener, that's why they are called greener pastures. Yeah, where you are, it was green, but you found greener. With relationships, do we get better people? Ukitembea tu hivyo, even those of us who are married, ukitembea hivyo unaona hii fulani kama ningemuona mapema, I would have not otherwise. Ananona, anakuwa mweupe, anagrow. Okay, things inaonekana hapo sawa, eh? So we always get yeah, the guy is saying the grass is always greener on the other side until you get there and realize it could be until you get there and realize it is worse than where you came from. Yeah, it's worse. It could there are times we cross over and we get for sure it is greener than where we have from. But there are also times we cross over and find that it is worse than where we have come from. You see your type every 5 minutes. Yeah. See how I say every 5 minutes now that your type. But fortunately you must settle on one. Then you continue seeing others and do nothing. Okay. Now, which one is best? This is the one that you should go for. Don't go for this one. Anytime you want to make a decision of dropping or retaining, look at the results. Don't look at this one. Ati umepata a new one. In Kiswahili they tell us usiache mbachao kwa msara. They also tell us it is better a devil you know than an angel you do not know. So here I could make a decision because umeona kitu mpya ama mtu mgeni. I don't know whether you have seen this even where you work. Mtu umekuwa marafiki na yeye sababu sasa kumekuja mtu mgeni anaachana na yeye anaenda kuwa rafiki ya wewe. Just normal friendships. Even in a class like this one, mmekaa tu hapa mnakaa na mtu sababu kumekuja mgeni anahama sasa anaenda kwa hapo. Kumekuja mgeni mwingine anahama anakuja. It is dangerous. This is the one that you should use. Now, what are some of the factors that you need to consider? One is the future prospects. Future prospects. You see right now, the product could be making losses. But what about the future? You did a film the other day, and you are told that the value of an asset is the present value of the future cash flows. So when I come your way asking for a relationship, usinijudge with what I have currently. Look at my future. And this is one of the points we are telling young girls, though some of them are disputing our theory. When they get proposals from their peers, young men who have just left college and they are struggling, they have no money. They put down those offers and they go for the guys who are already working, who are already 50 years. Because this guy who is already working and 50 years plus, they can buy you a car, they can pay you a salon, they can pay your house, they can even sponsor your education comfortably. But this classmate wako, hata kukulipia fare ni shida, can only escort you route 11, chape mguu mpaka pale Kencom. It is better to go with this guy. Because if this guy is 22 years, assuming that all of us tafikisha miaka 70, naona huyu akona 48 years to go. Huyu akona only what? 20. I remember one of my students, I talked to her on the same. And akaniambia bana, huyu mzee amenibaia nyumba na for sure I know the house. But after we met sometimes later, I think reality had dawned on her. Kaniambia, my husband is 3 years to return. And our firstborn hajaingia kidato chetu. What does that tell you? Are you getting that? The guy is 3 years to do what? Retire. So you need to check the future prospects. If someone comes your way, usiangalie how they are right now. Look at their future. If the future is bright, then be near them. But if the future is hopeless, then run away. Sasa, let me not take it much further. Or maybe I still need to mention, still on the ladies, hata kama siongeleshi nyinyi mtaongea na wengine huko nje. The other thing is this guy who is already 50, you don't have a lot of future with him. This is a guy who is already married, most likely. Sindio? Hata kuoa, but huyu hajaoa, so there is a possibility anaweza kuoa. And this is why it's unfortunate. When these girls start moving with these men, maybe mekaa naye for 2-3 years, na unagundua he's not married you. You start blackmailing him. Maanza kumchukua picha nini, unamwambia sasa nitatuma huko nyumbani, tatumia vipi? Ndio nikuseme. Now this guy, maybe he got married when he was 22. So he has been in his marriage for 28 years. Na wewe mmejuana 2 years. Hata kama ni wewe, which investment would you want to lose? An investment of 28 or 2 years? Common sense. It is unfortunate. That's why you see some of them even being taken to the extreme. You know what I hope you know what I'm saying. So don't associate with what has no future. Go to where there is future. The other thing that you need to look at is the relationship with others. If you are saying you drop me, maybe tunakuanga marafiki tukiwa watatu. There is Kimani here, there is Juma, there is Wafula. So I want to drop Juma. Then when I talk to him, ananiambia, or when I talk to Wafula, ananiambia, ukiachana na Juma, hata mimi usahau na mimi. So what do I do? Because I still need one of them, then you, no. Or maybe I want to drop Wafula. So I talk to Juma, ananiambia, sasa ukiguza Wafula, umeniguza. So you must look at what is the relationship. If you want to drop me, what else will you lose? And you know, in maisha, is like a chain. The other day, my wife was telling someone, mimi nikijua fulani hauko pamoja na my husband, hata mimi hatuwezi kuwa pamoja. And it's also true on my side. What do you think? Yes, if we are friends, we cannot be friends hapa. Alafu tukiachana hapa unaenda kudai na my enemies. I don't know what you talk. So those are things that you really need to take into consideration. What is the relationship between these two people? Such that nikiamua hii tunakata ama hii ninakata, will it affect the other one? You need to check on that. The other thing is alternative use of the resources that will become idle. If I stop doing what I'm doing right now, what else will I start doing? If I drop this one, if I stop teaching right now, what else will I start doing? Those are things you need to consider. The last one that we need to look at is called product mix. Product mix. Now, product mix, it is where you decide, which product you shall produce, which ones are more profitable. And this one, we have some procedures. I hope we will get some questions to do on that. Hii haina theory ya discuss. The others are more theoretical. That's why I have taken time to discuss. So let me look for some questions. Let me go through the past papers again. Nione kama the past papers. November 2016. There you are saying life is short. Okay. Haya, nimepata swali ya November 2016, question 3C. Question 3C. Deba Limited manufactures a range of products. The company absorbs production overheads using a rate of 200% of direct wages. This rate was calculated from the following budgeted figures. So we are given that. Maybe I can give you a background of how those ones have been worked out. Andika hivi, or maybe background, andika background. The OAR is budget costs over the budget base. Budget costs over the budget base. So total OAR utachukua hizo total overheads which are 6,400 plus 96. You divide by 8,000 times 100. $6,400 plus 96. You divide by 8,000. Tell me whether it is giving us 200. Yes, eh? Okay. Then for the variable OAR, you take the variable overheads, which are 6,400. You divide by 8,000 times 100. Is 80%. Alafu for the fixed OAR, utachukua 9,600 divided by 8,000 times 100. Tell me whether it is 120%. Sasa hii inafanya tu just for background Haya, ukiangalia problem 1 Problem 1, the normal selling price per unit of product X1 is 220, while the unit production cost is raw materials, direct labor, production overheads 80. So how is the absorbed overheads? Absorbed overheads It is the OAR times the actual base. Just reminding you of the topic of overheads. Ukiangalia hii wanaita problem 1, Problem 1. The overheads have been arrived at as 200% times the labor. Labor is 40. That is how the 80 shillings has been arrived at. Naweza ongeza hii problem 2, the overheads it is 200%. Ukiangalia problem 2 hapo chini iko na labor ya 80. Unaiona hapo chini? Hiyo 160. Na hiyo 80. That's how they have been arrived at. So that knowledge is important before you answer the question. Let's look at problem 1. Problem 1 inasema the normal selling price per unit of product XM is 220, while the unit production cost is as follows. Raw material, direct labor, production overheads. We are told there is a possibility of supplying a special order for 2,000 units of product XM at shillings 160 each. If the order is accepted, the normal budgeted sales will not be affected and the company has the necessary capacity to produce the additional units. Ukikibia kwa requirements, requirement 1, advise the management on whether to accept the special order under problem 1. So, kuja hapa useme problem 1. It is the case of special pricing decision. Problem 1 is a case of special pricing decision. And I've told you, when you are doing special pricing, we consider the relevant costs, which are, number 1, direct labor or raw materials. So we have raw materials. Raw materials, they are 80. Number 2, we have direct labor. Direct labor. Direct labor is 40. Then you have to bring variable overheads. Now, variable overheads, just like I have demonstrated to you these two, this one, it is the same you shall deal with. Ukikuja hapa kwa variable. Useme ni 80% of the labor, which is 40. So this will give you what? That's 2. So when it gives you that 2, this one now is the relevant costs. You add those 3. $152. Then you compare the special price. You compare the special price. These guys are willing to pay how much? 160. Naona wanataka kutulipa 150, but the regular price ni bei ya kawaida ni ni 220. 220. Sasa you need to compare these two. The example ilikuwa nawapea ya mkate. And then you make a decision. You are incurring 152 to get the product. Lakini kuna mtu anataka kulipa 160. Do you sell? Eh? You accept. So you have spent 152. Na huyu mtu anataka kurudishia 160. So you even make a profit of 8 shillings. We are going to accept because the special price is greater than the marginal cost or the relevant cost. So tutakata. Hiyo ndio ile mahesabu inafanyangwa na some business people in the streets. Sijui kama umewahi jipata kwa scenario kama hiyo. Unatembea tu hivyo ukaona kitu inauzwa, itakupendeza. And then you start engaging the guy. Anakuambia hii ni 500. Then for some reasons, unakuwa na change of mind. Unakuwa na change of mind. Sio ati hata hatuna pesa, but for some reasons you change mind. Na because hutaki kumwambia sitaki, you come up with a figure that you think will put him or her off. Yeah, nilikuwa nafikiria ni 150. Ukifikiria atakasirika na kuambia leta. Mwajipata mahali kama hapo? You thought that 150 is too low from what? 500. So ukiona akikwambia leta, this guy is not a fool. He is still making a profit. He is still making what? A profit. Hii kitu unaweza kusikia hata alikuwa amenunua 50. So that's how you consider that he's willing to shuka from 500 to 150. Your price umekut, his special price is greater than the marginal cost, the purchase cost. And let's go to problem 2. Problem 2, the cost of making component B, which forms part of product Y, is given below. We have the raw materials, direct labor, production overheads. Component B could be bought from an outside supplier for 200. Fixed production cost will not be affected. So let's deal with that. Problem 2. It is the outsourcing. Outsourcing decision is the other one that we call make or what? Buy. Make or buy. It's the other name for make or buy. Make or buy. Make or buy. So, the same thing. We consider raw materials, which is 40 bob. There is direct labor. Which is 80. Then we have variable overheads. Now variable overheads, again, utasema ni 80% of labor, which is 80, and that is at 64. That gives us 64. So this gives us the relevant, and remember relevant is the other one for marginal. Marginal costs. That's 120, 184. Higher purchase cost. Hawa jamaa wanasema wakituuzia, they will sell to us at how much? 200. So what decision do you make? Should you make or you should buy? Yeah, good. You should make. Because when you make it by yourself, it is costing you 184. Lakini ukinunua nje, it is costing you 200. Tuko sawa? Are you okay? So we are okay, then we will call it a lesson at that point. The only decision we have not handled is product mix.
The other for the problem, there are only relatives.
Oh, unatumiaga, that's why nimekupea formula. Unatumia OAR hizi overhead absorption rate. But unaput the actual base. The actual base, unaona this was labor. This 80,000 is labor. Tunakuja kwa hiyo product, tunaangalia iko na labor ya how much. So huyo alikuwa na labor ya 40. Si ndio vile tumeandika pale? So 100% unapata overhead ya hivi. 200% of this unapata 160. Now this is total overhead. Hivyo ndio zimepeanwa hapo kwa karatasi. But our question requires that we only work with the budget. So that's why I'm using 80. It's to be here 120 ama here 200. Because when you are making the decision, you already use the relevant and the variable costs.
So you'll just multiply into the directly.
Yes, if that was the base. But kama wangetumia material or any other base, wangetumia that other base. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay. Alice. Are you okay? Those online, are you okay? The center is okay. There is also okay. So I believe the others are also okay. So Quinta, it's good. So I was saying the only area to tumebakisha ni product mix. And as I suggested yesterday, I would wish that by next week, Saturday, tumemalizana na hii maneno ya syllabus, so that I have at least 6 lessons for blocks. 6 lessons for blocks for revision. So take time and write notes on the break-even. Then maybe by Tuesday, nitawatumia a few questions product mix. So that tukipatana Friday, tukiwa tumemaliza hiyo, we do budgets. I have 2 topics that are remaining, budgets and variances. Nione kama Friday nitamaliza budgets na Saturday tuange variances. So that we secure at least 6 lessons where we go past paper by past paper, revising, so that we're able to capture and prepare ourselves well for the exam. Thank you so much.